I'm standing here just outside the site of the southern steps known as the Ophel. The Ophel is where Solomon moved the palace of the kings from the city of David that lies in front of us and moved it here between the city of David and the Temple Mount itself. Here he would build his palaces and different public facilities that took him many, many years to do. Of course, today we don't have that archaeology because through the years, much archaeology, much structures were built one on top of the other, making this a very, very deep tell. But on top, we could see stairs, stairs that led Jews, most of the Jews, into the temple area. There would be a road, the Pilgrim Road, that would lead the Jews from the Pool of Siloam down south from here, all the way to the temple area. As they would go up, they would sing, they would read Psalm, they would rejoice, knowing that soon enough they're going to connect to God here in the temple. As they would gather by the stairs, they could sit, they could talk. A lot of Jewish studies took place around here. And when the Jews were ready, they would make their way into the gates. That would be two main ones here to the south. There would be two main gates. One would be the double gate, straight ahead. Of course, the wall that was built to the left side did not exist in the time of the Second Temple. And a bit more to the right, there would be the triple gate, another entrance of Jews into the temple area. Now, the stairs that we see there, much of them are original from the time of Herod the Great, meaning Jews from that time would step on them, would enter the temple through them. There's also a plaza there, original one from 2,000 years ago, where the Jews stood, rejoiced, and were so excited of their celebrations here in Jerusalem. Jews from all over the world came here 3 times a year to do this. We're standing here at the southwestern point of the Temple Mount, Mount Moriah. This is the western retaining wall that Herod the Great built 2,000 years ago. The amazing thing is that after much digging, we managed to reveal all the way to the main road, to the Cardo, the road from north to south, inside the city of Jerusalem 2,000 years ago. And the story that it tells is quite amazing. And we could, of course, see the destruction that exists here from 2,000 years ago and later on in time. But the road itself, this is the road that Herod the Great built. This is the road that the Jews coming to Jerusalem would walk upon as they would do their pilgrimage here to Jerusalem. The stones are massive, and you could almost imagine the celebrations that took place here 2,000 years ago. Beside the wall, actually on both sides, you could imagine shops, because Jerusalem was a rich city, a city that people from all over the world came to visit. Jews from all around, coming within their pilgrimage, would bring spices and different materials from all over the world. They could sell it here, and of course the locals. So I would say you could find almost anything you wanted here in Jerusalem. You could change your coins here. You could buy sacrificial animals here. Spices, material, it would be absolutely amazing. And the celebrations, oh, the celebrations coming here in the 3 high holidays of Passover, of Shavuot, you guys know it as Pentecost, and the Feast of Tabernacle. The celebration would be great. People coming from all over the world would meet here, families and friends. I could really understand the saying, next year in Jerusalem. For next year in Jerusalem, we will meet again, rejoice, and celebrate. It would be amazing. You could see the Bavel work of Herod the Great. You could actually say this was his signature, because everything had to be perfect. Everything had to be grand and beautiful. This would be his work, and he wanted to show it all over the world. As I said, Jews coming here from all over the world, but not only Jews, you also had pagans coming, wanting to see this wonder. For back then, they talked about the three main wonders of this land. The Dead Sea, where all objects float upon. The Shabbat day, a day which we do not work, because back then in the days people worked 7 days a week. And above all, the temple that didn't have even one figure on it. Over there, you could see the ruins of an arch that led people from the road, from the Carter Road, all the way into one of its gates above. You would have other gates around here, but that would be one of the main. The spot where we're filming is the continuing of the Wailing Wall, the western retaining wall, but to its south. And of course, it continues further on to the north, meaning the Wailing Wall itself, as we know it today, is only a small portion of the whole entire western retaining wall that was built 2,000 years ago by Herod the Great. The road that we saw down below, the Cardo, would connect from northern, from here, from the Anatolia fortress, and would lead the people all the way down to the southern gate, which would be called the Dung Gate, beside it the Gate of Water. And close to it, you would have the Pool of Siloam. Well, think about it. People entering Jerusalem from the south, from the Dung Gate or the Gate of Water. They would enter the city, they could purify themselves in the Pool of Siloam, and then they would make their way up through the Pilgrim Road all the way to the temple area, to where we are right now. They would rejoice, they would celebrate, they would sing and pray to God until at last they would reach this area. People would have to purify themselves before entering the temple area. Those coming from the east or from the north would have a purification area upon the Mount of Olives where they could find the ashes of the red heifer there, purify themselves. You would have to purify yourself with the ashes of the red heifer after you would be impure from death, meaning if you would touch a dead being or you would pass by a cemetery, that would be the only material strong enough to purify yourself. You would have another area of ashes of the red heifer close to the temple area, somewhere around here, and another portion would be in the Galilee area as well. Here we found some mikvot from different periods of time where people would enter impure, purify themselves, and exit pure. This would be one of the things that you would have to do before actually entering the temple area. You would also have to buy a sacrificial animal from around here. Everyone would want one, so the prices would be sky high. And of course, you would enter giving a donation of a half a shekel coin. Now, this coin, made out of silver, was a donation from Jews from all over the world. But hey, if you're coming to Jerusalem, if you're coming to the temple area, you would want to give it yourself, right? You're here. For me, coming here just before Pesach, just before Passover, and imagining my brothers and sisters from thousands of years ago coming here and celebrating, it's really special for me. What an amazing sight. The stone that we see here, that we managed to catch, was a portion of the cornerstone, the top of the temple base area. That stone fell during the destruction, perhaps, of the temple, or after that in time. And there's an inscription there saying to the house of trumpets, and then it's cut, more or less. We believe that that was the point where the priest would gather on top and blow the shofar, the trumpet, giving the people an indication of time, when the Shabbat exits, when it enters, when the celebration starts, and so forth. You would have 24 priestly families that each one at his own time would come and would take part and would be the priestly family in control around here. So perhaps that sign would tell them exactly where to stand and where to be at that specific time. The amazing thing is that today, after all the work that has been done here, we could step we could walk where Jews 2,000 years ago stepped. That's amazing. I mean, could it be that Jesus himself walked upon these steps, upon this road? I bet he did. I really wanted to take you inside and film from inside, but it wasn't possible. They didn't allow me to film inside the site itself. And that's why you guys will have to come here and do the tour physically inside the Southern Steps area.